Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 259. Tesla seems to be off to a very good start in China, while we have some troubling news about BYD. And the EU is to host the auto sector for talks to tackle falling competitiveness. And the US does not want to be left behind in the AI race by the Chinese, as Trump has announced a huge new investment in a new AI joint venture. And NVIDIA says that autonomous vehicles are not coming this decade, indicating that Tesla is far ahead in this game. And OpenAI is saying they want to get into the humanoid robot race as well. And we have more institutional investors raising their price target for Tesla. And Grok 3 seems to be just around the corner. And Volkswagen is removing a production line at their all-EV factory in Zwickau. And we have some more bankruptcy of the EV startups. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Tesla seems to be off to a very good start here in 2025 in China, while we have some troubling news about BYD. Yes, Tesla is off to a very good start in China in 2025. Despite the new refreshed Model Y in the pipeline and not being delivered yet, Tesla is ahead of both 2024 and 2023. So a very nice start to the year. And things are just about to take off with the launch of the new refreshed Model Y, as Tesla has apparently received more than 100,000 Model Y Juniper orders in the first 2 weeks of its launch in China, Asia, Australia and New Zealand. And now we can also order it in Europe and the US. And one difference that I have seen is that Tesla has not put their Tesla logo on the front of the ones in Europe, as Will from the Tesla Jigsaw could show us in his review of the Model Y. But the Chinese version does have the logo on the front, so there is a little bit of a difference between the two models, and the one in the US does not have the logo either. But with the very smooth launch we saw with the refreshed Model 3, I don't think this will hurt Tesla sales very much with the shutdown of the line to update to the new Model Y. So we could see a very good year for Tesla here in 2025. And some of the first reviews is starting to come out of China, as Ray for Tesla also shared on X. This is the first new Model Y test video from China. According to the tester, the new Y looks better than the Model 3 in person, suspension is superior, sound quality is top-notch, and the second row seat is comfortable and is power operated. Notable better than the legacy Model Y. So the best-selling car in the world has just gotten noticeably better. And Tesla's big rival in China, BYD, is seeing some bumps on the road. As Ray for Tesla shared a financial analysis by GMT Research, a Hong Kong-based accounting firm known for exposing financial issues at Chinese Evergrande Group, indicating they have credibility in uncovering financial discrepancy. BYD is highlighted to potentially masking its actual debt level through supply chain financing, a method that could obscure the true financial health of the company. So instead of 27 billion RMB, they could have as much as 323 billion RMB, equal to about $44 billion in debt. So many times higher than someone like Tesla has, but nothing compared to Volkswagen and Toyota, of course. But even though this sounds very bad, they will probably always be supported by the Chinese government no matter what happens. But the financial state of BYD might not be as good as they want it to look like, as they also took 273 days to pay their suppliers back in 2023. And you know, like many of you, my life is deeply embedded in the digital world. Whether it's crunching data for my job on a computer or enjoying some downtime while streaming services across my smart devices, this connectivity brings with it a critical need for privacy and security, which is why I'm excited to talk about today's sponsor, NordVPN. VPN stands for Virtual private network, with an emphasis on private. It encrypts your internet traffic, masks your IP address, and hides your virtual location, significantly enhancing your online privacy and security. In today's climate, where cyber threats are as common as they come, a VPN makes hacking close to impossible. And I have personally been using NordVPN many times when abroad. Remember when I was in the US for the Fully Charged live show, I was using the public Wi-Fi there, which isn't exactly known for its security, but with NordVPN I ensured my connection remained private and secure. Plus, while I was there, I could still watch my favorite Danish shows as if I was back home. It's just a matter of changing my IP to Denmark and I'm all set. And let's not forget the time when I was in China last year. There, access to the platform like YouTube or Google or many others is heavily restricted. NordVPN lets you bypass these restrictions, maintaining your connection to the digital world, so I could still upload to YouTube. Without a VPN, that would have been impossible. But NordVPN goes beyond just altering your IP. It blocks malware, stops intrusive tracking, and instantly nicks those annoying ads. Plus, it provides an always-on cybersecurity seal, protecting you even when you are not actively connected to the VPN server. So I do use this at home as well. The user interface? Dead simple. Just click the country you want and your IP address changes in an instant. If this sounds like something you need, NordVPN has an exclusive deal for you. Head over to the link in the description, nordvpn.com/bestinTesla, to snag a 2-year plan with a huge discount and additional 4 months for free. It's completely risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. So click the link to start enjoying a safer, more open internet today, and a big thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. The EU is to host the auto sector for talks to tackle falling competitiveness. So it's not just me that have been talking about how the legacy automakers are struggling. Now the European Commission is going to try to help the struggling automakers. The European Commission will help European automakers, suppliers, trade unions for a first round of talks on January the 30th, designed to produce EU plans to protect the struggling sector that is vital for the bloc's prosperity. Commission President Ursula told EU lawmakers late last year that she would start a strategic dialogue on the future of the car industry in Europe. The Commission said on January the 20th that it would hold the first dialogue to discuss the most critical challenge and potential solutions. Transport Commissioner Apostolos will take charge of developing an action plan. The bloc's car makers and suppliers have been closing factories, cutting jobs as they struggle to compete against Chinese rivals, and are bracing for US tariffs after US President Donald Trump takes office. And they are also bulking a potential larger EU fines if their fleet does not meet CO2 emission limits in 2025, or deals to avoid them that would benefit foreign electric vehicle producers. The dialogue is designed to help EU industry catch up in key technologies such as batteries, software, autonomous driving, streamline regulations, ensure competitive input costs, and guarantee a level international playing field. It all sounds good, but it's going to be very difficult to make a plan that will suddenly make the European automakers competitive with the Chinese. As we have talked about before, cars that are made in China are about 30% cheaper to produce. They have all the refined materials for battery production. And making a plan for them to be competitive in terms of software and autonomous driving is no easy task. Volkswagen had a plan, but failed to come up with competitive software, and their partnership with Ford for autonomous driving ended up being just another loss. So this is no easy task, and with all the bureaucracy we have here in Europe, I have a little doubt that they are able to make all of this happen in time. China expects to be a 100% BEV market in just 5 years from now. So I personally think they have about 5 years to get this right, or they will simply never become competitive and will just be yet some more companies that got disrupted, like we saw with Nokia, that never got back in the game in time. But let's see what will happen and if the European Commission can do anything to get the European auto industry competitive again. But I doubt it. The US do not want to be left behind in the AI race by the Chinese, as Trump announced a new huge investment in a new AI joint venture. So a massive $500 billion AI infrastructure joint venture project dubbed Stargate to be formed in the US. President Donald Trump announced the formation of a new artificial intelligence joint venture, Stargate. The new American company will invest $500 billion into the development of AI infrastructure in the United States, Trump said. This will require the construction of what Trump describes as a colossal data center, characterizing a new company as the largest AI infrastructure project in history. Trump promised that Stargate will create 100,000 jobs and develop AI solutions to improve the quality of life for American citizens. He said it is necessary to create such a company in order to compete with Chinese AI investments and vote to do so through an emergency declaration if necessary. Who is behind this new company? A trio of technology executives appear with Trump during the new conference to announce the new joint venture. They include OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, Oracle Executive Chairman Larry Ellison, and SoftBank Group's Corporation CEO Masayoshi Son. Sounds very interesting and sounds like a very, very big investment. Let's see what they will come out with. As I think we all know, it's not just about money and manpower to make great software. It's about having the best in the business in a small, effective team. But let's see what they will come up with. And speaking of AI, we had NVIDIA saying that autonomous vehicles are not coming this decade, indicating that Tesla is just far ahead in this game. As Dylan Loomis from Electrify shared on X, NVIDIA's head of automotive, fully autonomous cars are not close and unlikely to get into full use on public road until well into the next decade. That's right, the company literally selling the hardware plus software suite to help legacy automakers work towards autonomous just said is likely going to take them a decade plus from here. Yes, and Tesla will likely solve it this year. An analyst that thinks everyone will just catch up to Tesla when they have solved it just don't get how this works. And people are quick to talk about Gary Black, as he is one of the analysts that thinks everyone is just going to catch up to Tesla when they have solved it. But as Dylan wrote, I'm a fan of Gary. I am usually the one defending him, but we definitely have different views on this topic. And Gary replied, guys, you are ignoring Baidu, Google, and Amazon already have unsupervised autonomous ride-hailing. But Gary, you are ignoring that those three are not using the same technology. Tesla is making a general solution that is affordable and scalable and will work everywhere. And the others are not scalable, very complicated and expensive and geofenced. You simply cannot compare these technologies. And if you do, it just shows us that you don't really know what you're talking about and don't understand the underlying technologies. One that does understand the underlying technology, as he is an expert and a senior software developer, is James Domer. So let's take a listen to what he had to say in an interview that Brighter with Herbert did with him.
I'm so happy that somebody has like the resources, the guts, the fortitude, right, to do it the right way. They didn't get unlucky by making a big bet on the wrong technology and being unable to back that up, which a lot of the other big players did. And they believed enough in the technology. Putting all the sensors in the cars long before you had the tech to do it is incredibly expensive. That's just a huge bet. And it's hard for me to believe that if you didn't have an organization that was as dominated by one person, because one person can do this kind of bet, but as soon as you get a committee, you're going to have somebody who's like, I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe we shouldn't bet the farm on this. Like, it's too much money. We'll look like idiots. We'll get sued. And Elon's like, yeah, we're going to get sued. Yeah. That's just the incentive system of the world. That's the way it works. Some people are going to die in the thing, and we're just going to have to make the case that we're saving a lot more people than are dying in accidents, and it's going to suck, but it's the right thing to do, and we're going to do it anyway. And man, how lucky are we that there's somebody doing that?
Yes, Tesla was willing to do this right and bet big on the way they set it up. And that is why they have an unassailable lead in data collection, and no one really has a chance to catch up, and why automakers relying on only NVIDIA setup will not have full self-driving on the cars before well into the next decade, as they are missing the real-world data, and the ones that have robotaxis have a setup that is painfully slow to deploy. Remember, as Gary said, yes, they have unsupervised cars on the road today, and they have had for 7 years, and they only have parts of 7 cities covered. It would take them forever just to cover the US at that pace. But Tesla will cover all of the US as soon as they have solved it. It will only be a matter of regulatory approval. There is simply no comparison between these two kinds of setup. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. The Boring Company add yet another station in the Las Vegas Loop. Another 594-meter tunnels has been added to the loop. And it's not just Tesla that is getting ready for their humanoid robots working in their factories, as humanoid robots start to assemble iPhones in China, as UBTech partnered with Foxconn. Robots have been training for several months and are set up to help reduce the stress and strain of human workers. And OpenAI has posted this. Really excited to be posting our first robotic hardware role for OpenAI, including 2 very senior tech lead engineer roles and a TPM manager. So I think OpenAI has realized that the biggest market in the world is going to be humanoid robots, and they want to be part of that. But OpenAI does not know anything about manufacturing, so they will no doubt have to partner up with manufacturing experts to get them to market. But it will be very interesting to see how fast they can get anything useful to market. And AJ shared on X, Stellantis are seeing their revenue fall off a cliff, driven by inventory excess and Stellantis' efforts to lower inventory, which is driving the opposite of channel stuffing. Instead of recognizing excess revenue, Stellantis is forced to effectively under-recognize revenue. Things are not looking too good for Stellantis. And Tesla continues to be Piper Sandler's #1 buy and hold idea, as the firm raised its price target for the stock from $315,000 to $500. We are now modeling the contribution from full self-driving licensing, the Analyst stated. So if they are valuing Tesla's licensing full self-driving, they do believe that they will solve it, and in that case the valuation is very, very low. But it is of course only looking 12 to 18 months out in the future. But it should show that even Piper Sandler believes that Tesla will solve it, and that should mean a lot more valuation for the stock coming in the long term. And Alex shared that all Audi models declined in Germany last year, with the exception of the A5. When a manufacturer that traditionally grows in his home market, Germany, has a decline of 18%, it is no exaggeration to say there is a systematic problem for which the board of managers must take responsibility. Yes, Audi seems to be in big trouble at the moment. And the Cybertruck has apparently been registered in Norway. Seems like the Cybertruck are starting to slowly find its way into Europe. Crossing fingers, we will get some real registrations soon. And despite promises of radical change, Volkswagen's cutting cost deal in Germany heavily relies on its tradition of cooperation between managers and workers. This approach has led investors and analysts to question the effectiveness of the strategy in achieving promised capacity and job cuts. Volkswagen aims to cut 35,000 jobs and reduce capacity, which Manage describes as critical for survival amidst weak demand and competition from cheaper Chinese alternatives. So Volkswagen is talking about survival themselves. It's not just me saying that Volkswagen is in trouble, they are saying it themselves. And the all-electric factory in Zwickau will see one production line removed, but will receive new investment for a recycling facility for second second-hand vehicles. So this factory has never got to its maximum capacity for EVs before they have started removing production lines. This is not a good sign for Volkswagen's EV future. And we see some weird articles coming out, as we could see one from Motor One. Tesla tops the chart of best-selling EVs in the US, but Hyundai and Ford aren't far behind. Well, Tesla's Model Y sells about 7 times more than the second-best non-Tesla EV, the Ford Mach-E. If that is not far behind, I really don't know what is. And even Edmunds, that don't particularly like Tesla, had to once again give the crown to Tesla's Model 3, as Tesla's Model 3 won Edmunds' top-rated electric car award for 2025. And Electric Nick shared this chart and wrote, Europe's 2024 BEV numbers are in, and there are a new leader in town. The UK has overtaken Germany to become the largest BEV market in Europe. In the UK, 381,000 units, and Germany is 380,000 units. And then we have France on third place with 290,000 units. And Joe Tagmeyer shared a little video of the Cybertruck being born, coming out of the new Cybertunnel directly from within the factory on the other side of the road. Very cool. Still driven by human though. I can't wait to see the Cybertruck autonomously coming out of the factory and driving over and finding a parking spot. And more police departments learn how much better EV is, and especially Tesla's, as Sawyer shared on X. Officers from 8 police departments tested Tesla police vehicles built by Upfit Tesla, a division on Unblocked Performance, and they loved them.
The difference is absolutely staggering. I don't want to go back to this now. It's an incredible feeling after driving the Tesla modified package that you guys have the last couple of laps and getting back into it. This just feels so much more sluggish. The cornering just feels so much more just kind of out of place. The amount of times you can just move with so much more precision in the Tesla, the acceleration, braking, the handling capability of it is just honestly far superior. Just the absolute dynamic and fun ability to have in that car. It's a whole nother world. I definitely don't want to go back to it. So.
And we have another EV startup going out of business, and this time it is Canoo. You probably remember these kind of headlines from 3 years ago, that Canoo pickup truck is what Elon Musk wishes the Tesla Cybertruck was. What is that? Not real? Anyway, it's always fun looking back at all the hate Tesla always gets, but even though it was delayed, Tesla delivered, as always, and is now the best-selling pickup truck, and Canoo is no more. So we're still waiting for the competition to arrive and for the haters to be right on something. And the question is, who will be next on the bankruptcy list? Well, AJ has some thoughts about that with his updated chart here, as he wrote, I think Faraday Future and Workhorse will be the next ones filing for bankruptcy. If Trump kills credit sales, Rivian drops more than 30%. Lucid is less affected since it's mostly Saudi-owned already, and stock is highly illiquid. Also, Polestar would be significantly affected since just yesterday the CEO made credit sales a big part of the Polestar story. So let's see if AJ is going to be right, or if we have other big names dropping before these guys. And it seems like Croc is just around the corner, as Brent from XAI wrote on X. Making the impossible late is not just a phrase for SpaceX, also applicable to XAI. While we optimize the build 30% between cluster 1 and 2, it's still not fast enough. Late is never acceptable, so we forced ahead into third phase. Croc 3 release coming in hot. Who can't wait to see Croc 3. It should be something very special and maybe even a historic moment in the world of AI. And people have once again been going crazy over Elon Musk throwing his heart out to the people of the US. So mainstream media is making it look like he's making a Nazi salute. This is so ridiculous. He throws his heart out to the people, and now people are calling him a Nazi. I guess they have no clue what a Nazi is. As Jeff also pointed out, Elon visited Auschwitz a year ago with various Jewish leaders typical Nazi behavior. Don't worry, legacy media and politicians have your best interest in mind, and you don't hate them enough. Yep, and Tech Operator fixed it for all you people that didn't get it. And we got this chart of the top 50 most profitable companies in 2024, and we do see Tesla on the list. That's nice to see, as you probably remember short sellers telling us all that Tesla was structurally unprofitable. And here we are, and Tesla is more profitable than Mercedes and closing in on Volkswagen. And if you look at the most profitable company, they are in the energy and technology sector. Two industries that Tesla is also in, with their energy storage and AI and robotics. So we should expect Tesla to climb on this list, especially as they are not just an automotive company, but an AI company. And that is why it is the most valuable car company on the planet. And it seems like Jaguar design team was not happy with the rebranding of the company, as Sawyer shared on X. Jaguar's internal design team complained to the company's chief creative officer about the rebranding project before it went public. The designers were not happy with the Jag's decision to outsource the branding work to an external agency, or what that agency came up with, according to an internal memo. We felt that the logo decision from the narrative of the visual identity of the Panthera product. On the product, it feels too rounded, playful, which do not speak to us the feeling of exuberance. It was also noted that the logo shared close similarities with other brands when it should be a copy of nothing. Yes, I personally think this could go down in the history as one of the worst rebranding of a company ever. And Elon shared a great video of the onboard camera of the heavy booster that SpaceX caught for the second time with the tower. Remember how many people said this was impossible? Well, that is what SpaceX does for a living, making the impossible late. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest supporters of this channel. My new YouTube members, Alan Miller, Sean McPherson, and Pontus Kinblad. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. Even the animals knows we are spending way too much time on social media. That is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel, or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out, add some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheet also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.